guys, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever it is where you are. Today I just wanted to do a story about my miscarriage. It's in honor of Pregnancy and Infant Loss Awareness Month. Come say hi. Say hi.
Hi.
Okay, go eat. My miscarriage was in October of 2013, and I don't remember the exact date that I found out that I was expecting. It would have been our third. We have three now, but Gianna is actually our rainbow baby, which is a baby born after a loss. So I found out mid-October, mid to late October, that I was expecting, and we were really excited. We announced, and I got up for work one morning, and I noticed bleeding. So I called in and I told them that I couldn't come to work, that I needed to go to the hospital. So my husband and I went to the hospital, and I just remember being terrified. They told me that my pregnancy test came back negative, which baffled me because I had just gotten a few positive pregnancy tests just maybe a week and a half earlier. They said it may be too early, and they scheduled me for an ultrasound. Well, in the ultrasound they said that they couldn't see anything, that there was some thickening, and that was, you know, a possibility that there was something going on, but they weren't sure. And they labeled me as basically a threat for miscarriage, that I needed to take it easy and I needed to kind of rest and see what would happen in about a week. I remember coming home very upset, and just wondering what was going on. I had heard about stuff like this before, never experienced it, so it was scary going into it. And I remember praying for God not to let me be angry at him. That was my biggest thing. I just continued to say, please don't let me be angry with you. That was the last thing I wanted in this whole situation, was bitterness towards God. So a couple days passed. I scheduled for an ultrasound, and we went into the ultrasound, and same thing. They said there was some thickening. They weren't sure exactly what was going on. We were pretty scared. We were so excited to be expecting, and then for everything to come crashing down within a week. It was scary and it was discouraging. And I think I went for blood work 3 times a week for 2 weeks, and they started declining. So we knew what was happening, and that's basically your, I forget the hormone it's called, but your hormones, the pregnancy hormone, will increase and double and triple when you're pregnant, and when you're not, or when you're miscarrying, it will decline. So they measured all of that and tested the hormones, and then we basically confirmed that it was definitely a miscarriage. Halloween 2013, I was upset, of course, but I still wanted my kids to be able to go out and have fun. So I went to a friend's house, and we were hanging out, and I was deciding whether or not I was going to go take them around and trick-or-treat. But for me, I know a lot of people don't like to do anything. They just kind of like to rest and relax. But for me, it almost felt better walking. So I decided to go. It was painful sitting on the couch, unfortunately. So we decided to go, and it was tough. It was tough knowing what was going on through that whole evening, knowing you know, the ultimate, the end result of the whole thing. I do want to say that in my whole experience, I never became angry with God. I never became bitter. I was upset and I was angry at the situation, but I'm thankful that I never, you know, got angry with God, and I'm thankful that I never took it out on my husband or, you know, things like that. But the biggest impact, I will say, was others. And that's kind of why I'm sharing this story, because others letting me know that I wasn't alone in that moment was the biggest help of all. There were so many times where I felt so alone. You know, all these people are pregnant, all these people have kids, and even I had 2 kids at the time. But I didn't understand why this was happening to me, and I thought, why me? Why me? And I think we all go through situations like that where, you know, we're why me? Why is this happening to me? But to know that it happens to so many other people, even though it's not a good thing to be happy that this is happening, it's good to not feel alone, and it's good to feel like you have someone who can relate to you and who you can talk to about this. And I had a friend, Heather, actually reached out to me when she had her miscarriage, but it was years before mine. And because she had reached out to me just to talk, I had in turn reached out to her when I was going through this. And it meant a lot to me that she took the time to talk to me and to find a silver lining in this dark cloud. That was the biggest impact. I talked to a few people at church, and they let me know, you know, the same thing had happened to them. And I just kind of tried to find every positive that I could in that situation, and I really believe that that got me through. So again, in honor of Pregnancy and Infant Loss Awareness Month, which is October, I just wanted to share my story and let people know that they're not alone. And it happens. It unfortunately happens. It's okay to talk about. I think a lot of people think it's kind of uncomfortable. It is uncomfortable, but I think it's okay to be uncomfortable sometimes. I think that's where you find some type of comfort. If I hadn't ever talked about it and I still held in this, you know, this feeling, I probably would have been bitter. I probably would have been angry. I'm not sure that I would have been able to overcome what I've overcome. You know, I have a 2-year-old now, and she was born in 2015. So there is hope. There is, you know, a lot of things, a lot of good things that can happen after, you know, such an awful situation. It's okay to let it out. You know, one of my pastors actually did a sermon one time and spoke of proud flesh, which I never knew what it was, but it's basically trying to heal the outside before you heal the inside. And what happens is it looks okay and it feels okay even on the outside, but on the inside it's still a mess. It's still a wound. So it's important to work from the inside out. It's important to have that grieving period, no matter how, you know, how long you were pregnant, how deeply you feel, how, you know, whatever your situation is. It's important to take that time to go through some form of grieving so that you can start to heal from the inside out. And I'm able to talk about it now. You know, I'm able to encourage others and tell other people that, you know, there is light at the end, and we have a rainbow baby now. She's 2.5, almost 2.5, and it's awesome. You know, of course I never wish this on anybody, but it's important to know that while it does happen, it doesn't only happen to a few people. Millions of people experience this yearly. And that's the importance of Awareness Month, to really bring it to the light and let people know that you're not alone. And I think, you know, with any hard situation, it's important to know that you're not alone. So that is my miscarriage story. I hope that someone somewhere found some light through this, decides to maybe talk about it if they've been holding it in, and if they've been having a hard time with it. Reach out to someone. I guarantee you that somebody you know has been through this, and it makes all the difference to know that you're not alone. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share my videos. We will have so many more coming. A lot more lighthearted than this one. This is just something that I really wanted to share, especially in October. This is for all the angel babies that are in heaven right now. And just remember that it's okay to share a story. It's okay to talk about what you've been through. And you're not alone. That's the biggest thing, is you're not alone. All right, we'll see you next time, guys. Bye. Thanks.